Hello everyone and welcome to another AP Computer Science video. This video is going to be very brief. I'm just going to quickly go over a website we're going to be using to get practice at programming. This is a free website that's a great tool for getting comfortable with the Java programming language. We'll be given small, interesting, challenging problems to solve with descriptions. They'll give some example input and example output, and then it'll run our code against their battery of tests, and then it can show us what we get right and what we get wrong. And there are a bunch of different topics that as we go through them, we can jump to these different sections. And I'll have the ability to create my own questions, which I'll slowly add in as well. So I'm going to show you that. The website is called codingbat.com, so I'm going to go directly to it. Codingbat.com. I don't really know the name. I know this was made by a student in college at some point in the past. And it has support for both Java and Python, and it is a great free tool. So codingbat.com, you can see there are basically two sections, Python and Java. We're going to be using the Java section, which is more fleshed out. And basically there are a bunch of different questions in different categories. So we haven't talked about all these things, but string, there's string 1, string 2, there's different levels of difficulty, some logical problems that deal with if statements and things like that, and some array ones. And so some of these topics we haven't discussed, but we will eventually be able to do pretty much everything on this page. And there are some pretty good AP questions that we can do. And there's little badges, little stars as you collect them. So what we're going to do is everyone should make an account. It's free to make. Make it with your school email, so that way it's tied to your school email and it's easy to use. And once you've done this, and so you can make an account pretty easily by clicking create account, and once you've done that, what I'm going to ask you to do is, I'm going to log into mine just to tell you how you can see it, is you make an account, log in, and I've already done some, and I'm going to clear these out, so we might talk about doing them together in videos, but I'm going to go ahead and do that at some other point. And so what you should do is, once you have your account created, go to the preference section, prefs on the top right next to the information. And in this section, here you can change your password, but what I would like you to do is to add my email. And it's going to be my Palmer Trinity email just because that way it's easier, it's the one I use currently. And so where it says teacher share, enter your email and then click share. And when you do that, I would ask you to also, in the memo, just put your first name. So I know it's easy, because what's going to happen is as you answer your questions, I can always go and look back at your solutions. And so if I want to grade them, or if we just do them for practice and I want to see your solutions, this allows me to do so. And having your name there makes it easy. So I would ask that you make that possible for me. So that's all we're going to be using CodingBat for, and I'll post assignment questions now and again, and they are really good practice. And I'll show you just a quick example of one. The warm-ups are kind of the starting easy ones, but I'll just go ahead and do one. I'm going to clean this out real quick, and I'm going to erase it just so we have fresh code. And so here it is. So you can see what it is. It's a question. So in this case, they say, oh, the parameter weekday is true if the weekday, if it is a weekday, and the parameter vacation is true if we're on vacation. We sleep in if it is not a weekday or we're on vacation. Return true if we sleep in. And so they give you some examples. If you're given false and false, the answer should be true. If you are given true and false, the answer is false. If you're given false and true, the answer is true. And so in this case, there are a limited number of possibilities. So when you run this, you'll see the battery of tests on every possibility. But when it comes to the more complicated questions in other sections, there are potentially hundreds of different tests that can be done, and they only do kind of a subset of them and tell you whether you got all their tests right or not. So this is what we're going to be seeing. And it gives us a nice graph of your progress. So if you mess up a few times, it'll show you kind of the flow, and you'll notice as you get better, you'll potentially be able to solve some of these in one go. And it's kind of a good experience to kind of see that as you go along. So eventually you're able to see your progress. And there's also links to other helpful information and videos. So if you want to look at other videos for more information, this is great for a lot of basic topics. And then some of these warm-ups also have solutions. So if you're curious, you can see some of their solutions. The harder ones that in the later sections don't necessarily have those. But we can talk about any questions that you guys may have questions to. So this is one of the websites we're going to be using, and this is a good tool. The second website I want everyone to join, and this one you may have already done so, but I just want to make sure this is the case for everybody, is the AP College Board website, because we're also going to use a lot of their resources. They have wonderful, this year they've added videos. There are many different questions in practice and progress checks. So as we go through material, we can see AP style questions. So not just my questions on my homeworks and quizzes and tests, but the AP styles, which I do try to blend into my exams, but the idea is that to see more of it and more practice, we'll be using their website. So the website that we're going to be using is apcentral.collegeboard.org. And again, if you already have an account, this is very easy. If you do not have an account, if you click sign in, you can do create a new account. And I'll just show quickly, if you're a student, they just want some information, your first name, your middle initial, your last name, some other basic information, your emails, which again, you'll probably use your school emails. They also, I think, ask for some parent information, but very, very minimal stuff, just to kind of keep information about when you take the exam, how to do that. And so what's going to be key here is once you make this account, I'm going to share, and I'm not going to do it in this video, but I will share the unique code for our classroom. It's pretty much like Google Classroom. I meant to sign in, so here it is. So I'll share that code with you through our on-campus portal, and then you'll be able to join. And I'll post different, and I'll let you know when I post some practice questions or progress checks. You won't need my permission to. You will not need my permission to join. To look at the videos that they post. They've already posted, I think, a couple of videos for the first and second unit, which is pretty much most of the material we've already covered. And so, as we go through the material, we'll keep coming back to this website. So I just want to show you these two websites. Please make an account, and I will also be sharing the code for this course on campus. So I look forward to all of you joining and using some of these tools.